Hi everybody, it's Adrian here, and today I brought some special stuff. So here I have a bunch of notebooks and drawings and stuff that I did when I was a kid. My parents just brought these back from Romania, which is my origin country, and I was really astonished. I was really freaking out taking a look at all these things, and I wanted to kind of share all of these things with you and go through the entire, let's say, process, because this is a process. These are like 3 years, because I only got to study there for like 3 years before I had to move. And I set up like this dual webcam kind of thing to kind of share this whole thing with you guys, just take them one by one. And this is where you get like the first contact with like handwriting and practicing like shapes and simple letters and simple stuff, Then you progress, I guess, into like more complex stuff. Here's like a little bit of the same thing, like you're practicing the sounds, like the unions between things. See, this one, I'm not sure if this one had it. Oh, it does have it. So you can't really notice it there, but there's like really subtle lines that help you kind of stay right, like on a straight line and stuff. This one is like way more pronounced. Like you can see the blue obvious lines, some math, some calculus. Here's like another example of this. This is like way different because I'm noticing it doesn't have those helping lines. These are just straight lines like this. So this is like you on your own. These are not in order, so I apologize if it doesn't make like a a linear narrative experience. Oh, look. So here we were supposed to kind of either put like a picture here to stick it with like some glue or something, or to draw ourselves. And I drew this, which doesn't look like me at all, but this is supposed to be like a reading experience to comprehend what the story is. And then you have like some sort of exercises that were pretty creative, like identifying certain words or drawing stuff, as you will see next. Where was it? Like, look, for instance, this one, it literally says like, draw this character just as you imagine him. So you have to go through the story, read this, and just like we all do when we're reading stuff, we imagine those worlds in our head, and you had to kind of put it down on paper here, which is great for stimulating that creative capability, of us. This is all about repetition, as I said. This is just the same thing as anything you want to get better at, you have to kind of practice. And these are some sort of drilling exercises that we used to do. You see how we were repeating each thing again and again and again. These red ones were like already embedded into the book. They came with this, and you had to kind of practice it. So you see how they influenced this sort of handwriting since like a very young age. And when I came here, like I noticed how all the other kids in class were like kind of surprised that I was writing this way, with this particular handwriting style. We had like a book in class that each kid had to take home. I forgot if it was like every day or every week or something. It was some sort of like a class journal of some kind, and you take it home and you write what you did that day, and then you pass it on. And of course, you can see what the other people have been writing and stuff, and that's when they saw it and they said, dude, your handwriting is so cool, like how do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know, I've always been writing like that. I don't do it anymore. But when I was a kid, this is what they would push you to do, and yeah, you end up naturally like used to it. We had to be pretty clear, so this is a nice way to practice some communication skills. This one, this one is a little more old school. It doesn't even have like, I can understand they lost some pieces and stuff. Like this one doesn't even have a cover, but yeah, it literally says signature notebook special. So compare this, right? This one and this one. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it in the center of the composition here in the frame. So as I said, you would practice different sizes of writing, and I see some drawings here as well. I was like 5 years old, or 4. Drawing 2, drawing 1. This is like my first drawing from kindergarten. This is supposed to be a house. That's pretty cute. I was trying so hard. Not really. I was just flowing and vibing. Here we have the third one. This is meant to be a house with like a chimney and everything. And, well, we haven't finished this one. There's... Whoa! Whoa! Okay! That's so cool. I didn't remember this Spider-Man drawing. I would watch these cartoons on TV all the time. And, of course, you kind of pick up on the basic shapes and the forms and all that stuff. Like, you go... Obviously, try to go beyond the fact that there's a head, 2 arms, 2 legs, blah, blah, blah. So I tried to kind of do, like, the bumps that I would pick on, you know, when watching those shows and stuff, but it's obviously not even close. I mean, I wasn't even thinking of these things, in my opinion. I was like just drawing, you know, like take a look at the feet, bro. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. There's a turtle right there, some math going on. These are... What's this, bro? This is an aberration of some sort. So it's like 2 horses fused together by the middle or something. Okay, not bad. Oh, some color. So we have like a house with garden. That's some storytelling right there. I mean, someone left these tools out there. Someone was gardening or something. They left the tools. I'm not sure if I bring it closer. You can see it's quite blurry, but yeah. And then here we have this amazing scene of like a wolf on top of a rock. There's a lion climbing to get him or something. And then what the... There's a hunter right there. Right behind. I'm not sure what this thing is. I think I messed up because it's quite deep. It feels deep. Oh, and then there's a bird attacking him as well. And now I notice the zebra right here. Man, storytelling has deep roots, bros. I'm telling you. Wolverine. Oh, okay. Nice horse. Sitting. Whoa, check out this helicopter, bro. Like, look at the amount of blades it has. It's really interesting to see how kids perceive the world, you know, and how they interpret it as well. You saw the Spider-Man before. It's clearly identifiable as Spider-Man because, you know, you see the colors, you see the symbols and everything. But then the proportions is something that you keep polishing. This is more abstract in a way. Like I now see that we had to kind of imitate this part. Yeah, you do your interpretation. Here, for instance, it says like the line as an element of construction, like to build the composition and the shapes and forms and everything. And well, I did my best. This is my best take at perspective back then. And oh, I remember this thing. This is somewhere. I drew this thing. Oh man, I need to find it and show you guys. Oh, what's this? House. Yeah, I used to draw a lot of houses. Like, and you fall into the same habits all the time, like drawing the same thing from the same perspective, from the same angle, in the same composition. You know, you tend to get too comfortable with that, and that's what happened to me a bunch of times. We have these pigs, so yeah, you had to draw like 30 pigs with different like costumes and stuff. I don't know why. Like, why would... Anyway, it was fun. Some more exercises, more. And oh, here's an interesting one. So here's Pinocchio making like a deal. I was trying to practice these painting skills, just satisfying like my own need to draw and create stuff. So of course, you know, being influenced by the surroundings that I had, all the stories that I heard and read and saw on TV and stuff, they kind of condition a little bit your creativity and your references. So you use them. And see here, I was just painting flowers. There we go. This is a nice scene. I can now see how I didn't know how to fix the the in between the branches side of this. Like that area was left untouched, just like right here on this tree. Same thing, the sun shining bright, a pretty dark sky for what it is. But so another notebook, sketchbook. This is more like a sketchbook. These frames were made by my mom, so she would do this for every single page, as you can see. So this was it. These were like, look at how many they are. Like, there's a bunch of them, right? I still have a bunch of other drawings that I would like to share with you if you have some more time. So 12 years old, I was trying color pencils. Oh, here's another one. See what I was talking about? The same composition, always the same thing. I was really into wolves back here. I would try to draw them as much as I could. I was never using references directly, like not like looking at a reference and drawing from it, but rather using my mental library, visual library that I have inside of my head. And yeah, I think it would have really helped me if I would have tried to use like direct reference. So, but I was really happy with these, even though, you know, color saturation, atmospheric perspective, and all that stuff was not here. I was trying to practice shapes, and even though this feels like quite blocky, not very natural, it was getting me there. Now, this is a little parrot that I had, and this is the other one that I had when I was a kid. They lived with me through my entire teenager years, and yeah, they passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago. They have a deep place in my heart. This is the only thing that I regret in my entire life, keeping two souls caged for so long. Even though I tried to kind of, you know, let them fly around the house and all that stuff, I never got to have like a deep relationship with them, like a deep connection. I was a kid, you know how kids are, always jumping from one thing to another, like constantly changing things they want to do. So not much responsibility, to be honest. That's why I feel so bad. They even escaped a bunch of times from the cage, and I had to kind of go grab them from the street, you know. I was scared because if they get lost, I don't think they can survive too long if they're used to always be fed at home and, yeah, to be given the food, basically. They can't hunt, they can't find stuff. Although I don't want to underestimate the capabilities of survivability of no living being, because I think we all find a way sooner or later. Okay, here we have a Pokemon. Ninetales, I think this one was called. Do you notice how I was drawing on anything, any paper I could find, like any, this is some corporate stuff from somewhere. I would just use it, draw on it, practice. You see, I was like 9 years old here. It's easy for me to remember when I did these drawings, even though they have no date, no nothing. Yeah, it's easy for me to identify them based on what I was doing back then in life, where I was, who I was with, you know, what I was doing. And here's like an interpretation of my dad and my uncle playing basketball because they liked it a lot when they were younger. Oh, I was so proud of this one. This one was, man, I was seeing this, like, seen from a distance. Wow, it looks so realistic. Looks like a picture. So you can see how proud you can become when you accomplish something you're really happy with. Even though here I was trying to ease out the color saturation and stuff like that, you can really see how much more cautious I was when applying all these colors and all that stuff, although the shadows here are pretty harsh for the contrast that I was using, but still, it's never a step back, it's always a step forward, you know. Oh my god, this is one of the first things I did in Microsoft Paint. So this is a digital painting. We're talking about digital painting now, okay? I don't know if you guys have ever heard me tell this story, but I got my first digital tablet when I was like 2009 when I got the first computer. My parents bought the first computer. I'm gonna jump into other stuff now here with this, but let me tell the story first. I got this tablet. I tried to use it. I couldn't make it work. I couldn't get to the idea that it must be something about the grip or something, because when you grip a pencil, when you hold it like this, like this, it's very different. I wasn't sure what camera to look at. You hold it like this without looking at it, like your brain can feel it. The way it looks, right? The way it feels. When you grab a mouse, it's an entire different story, right? Maybe I couldn't associate the fact that I'm almost like using a mouse, because of the grip difference. So I couldn't get my mind around the concept of having to draw here and having to look straight at the monitor. I was just more comfortable using the mouse for some reason. So yeah, this is the first drawing that I did on Paint, Microsoft Paint. And this is the time a little later. I was like 12, no, more like 13. I was 13 here, and I was enjoying this show on Discovery Channel called Overhauling. And Chip Foose was the guy who drew the amazing concepts of the cars that they were working on. So I was fascinated by his capabilities of drawing and painting, and he was using a lot of different tools, a lot of different techniques, and I was trying to imitate them. I was trying to also use markers and combine them with like pencil and color pencils and all that stuff. I ended up copying and reinterpreting some rendering things. Like for instance, you see the little shiny things on the rims right there. I was doing this effect on almost every car. Pay attention to this one too. It has that. This one doesn't have it. I tried to kind of replicate that with pencil, but it doesn't read very well. This is Jack 2. This is when I got my first PS2, bro. My mom bought me my first PS2. It was amazing. It came with Jack 2. What if I tell you we can play this game nowadays? We can... I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but I would like to make some streams on YouTube or Twitch or anywhere. Maybe YouTube, just to keep the channel going. And yeah, enjoy these old titles again. But anyway, this was drawn with direct reference, right? So I was holding the game box next to me, and I was trying to replicate these two characters, which, to my surprise, they came out pretty well. Like you can see stuff like the fingers are not quite there, but man, the proportions and all that stuff is quite accurate. All right, this was for like a contest or something. So I was trying to competitions and stuff every now and then. We were supposed to represent, like the brief was about a street or some ordinary scene in a city. And I ended up doing this. I represented a street that was next to where I was living. All the details about the sidewalks, these little pylons here. And there's people buying clothes in there. This is like Zeus or something. This is pencil, and this is where I was trying to imitate some dragons that I found online. This one, I remember there was a reference that I had somewhere of a dragon that was just standing sideways. It was beautiful. I never really enjoyed these kind of cartoons, these kind of drawings, but just explore and see how it works. Do you guys remember those little things, like circular plastics that there was a game, I'm not sure what it's called in English. What I enjoyed a lot was translating that tiny size drawing into like a bigger size on a paper like this. Friends of mine in school were asking me for these drawings, like, yo, can you draw this Pokemon for me? I tried, like, as you can see, I was just using any paper I could. The colors here, like, I don't know, I just did my own interpretation of this. Like, I knew there was a lot of smoke, there was a plane involved, a crash, lots of buildings, cranes and stuff I'm seeing here, like a boat over there in the background. You can make yourselves an idea of when this was created. Here's like a beach, a sandcastle, bunch of tools. Oh, and these were really, really cool. These tiny little ones. They were like sequences. Pinocchio again. There's so many of these. Man, these were so cool to make. These are like tiny little stories that I was creating when I was like, what, 8 or 7 or something. they were really enjoyable. Here's like an underwater scene. There's a mermaid kind of drowning. The shark is also drowning. As a kid, this is what you see. This is the way you see the world. Underwater, bubbles. That's what you think. This is Christmas scene, a kid opening presents. Here's a plane, another beach, an elephant. Here's a giant ship. Here's this horse, which I did not understand how the legs worked. And there's a tiny little dog right there. I'm not sure if you can notice it. This was a Cartoon Network or something like that. An island, a guy picking something from the table. Kind of ordinary scenes, right? Someone just driving through. Like, this was a stadium, I think, because I knew stadiums were basically like this, like very tall, very high, like that. Polar bear. That's a brown bear against a black bear. Oh, and this, okay, this is an eclipse. Yeah, for some reason I've represented the sun with those bubbly things coming out. I think I saw like an image, those explosions on the sun, you know, and stuff like that, and I interpreted like some bubbly thing like that. A tornado, dinosaurs, a picnic scene. And by the way, this first drawing that we saw, this was an old little house sculpture or something made entirely by wood that my grandparents had at their place, and it was about this size, you know, or something like that. But the details really intrigued me, and I wanted to kind of replicate that. By the way, here's the cheetah that we mentioned before. Remember that drawing? And there's a zebra, by the way. I didn't know what the running cycles looked like, where the legs would go and all that stuff, but I did my best to kind of indicate that the cheetah is chasing a prey, and the speed stuff is lifting off like sand and dust and all that stuff. Okay, let's go with this story. This is a story that me and a friend from my class, this was a joke. This was basically like a meme back then for us. You know, like we saw this rabbit on like a textbook in class. I don't know what it was about, but there was this drawing. I drew it once, and then we all said, let's try to put this guy in like different scenarios, different situations, different ordinary lifestyle moments. And here he is, like sitting at a hotel room, watching TV. See, these three are always the same dude in the same position. So I was just replicating it again and again and again. Here he is at the beach. Here he is at the beach, but in a much more cool way. And then I felt like, okay, we can expand this story, but that's gonna be a little complicated because we're not gonna have the comfortable drawing in the same position every time. So we have to kind of get out of that comfort zone and try to imagine this guy from a different position. And here he is, receiving someone, waiting for someone, and that's someone. Okay, so this is this one is this one. Okay, and here's like, maybe it's someone who's coming to visit the other guy. I don't know. I forgot about the story. These are really cool. See these variations? Here we can see the variations, the different seasons I was representing this house in. This was like, okay, this was like a show of a very, you know, scary place. Yeah, you can see the ghosts and the graves, and then I imagined the indoor version, like spider webs, this bookshelf, this cracked wall, this ghost out of nowhere, boo, and this lamp in a different way, you see. But I'm still keeping the same composition. It's the same shot, but it's different colors. I'm trying different stuff. Maybe it was about the moon. I don't know, because here's like full moon. Oh, and here's like another part. Like these are like shots, you know, that you're taking from inside the place. So I was imagining just like that. I was imagining I was there and I was taking pictures all the time. So there's like a secret entrance, as it says here, like a staircase, like someone really creepy on a portrait there. The ghost, it's always there. From a show about monsters I used to watch, again, more wolves, right? I was practicing these things. I was trying to, yeah, I think they were referenced from somewhere. I was trying to copy the shapes, the pose, the everything, and then paint it, of course. This one, I think this is more like an interpretation of mine from this kind of pose. I was imagining like, what would it look like to see it from the side? This was another character, very fun. Same thing, but I think No reference this time. I remember back then what I was practicing a lot was the claws. Oh, this tiny little character was so cute, really funny. Yeah. Dinosaur. This is like a villain. And now we move on to the concept design thing. But it's funny to see how we transition from Romanian writing to Spanish writing to nowadays, which is basically only English writing. I was imagining like different branding, the names, the shapes, the functions of all the tools they used. They were like tiny little robots. You guys remember the Beyblade show, right? Those were awesome. I really enjoyed that show, and I tried to replicate it somehow with, like, you see these streets they had, and they were leaving the fire trails. And this is all paint. This is all made in paint. I was using a mouse, and I was testing the printer as well. And I ended up printing a bunch of things. I wish I could find the very first drawings that I made in Microsoft Paint. They were so cool. I remember so many of them that I've never seen again. Concepts, right? This is Quake Man, as you can see. He is someone who wears this kind of suit, rides this kind of bike, uses this kind of jetpack thing, has this kind of sword with some electricity thing, which you can see replicated all across the designs. You can see the electric symbol everywhere. Even on the logo, like it's right there. Some tattoo designs or something. And some more drawings, aliens. Some of the logos from the Power Rangers, they had that on the belt. And I think I even ended up cutting this out and pasting it over one of my mom's belts or something that had like a circular thing in the middle. I don't know how to call that in English right now. It was awesome. And here's a dog. I struggle a lot with perspective there. Still 9 years old. This is a guy fishing. Oh, this is more interesting. Okay, this is, again, some more storytelling. You can see this captain thing. These guys are escaping on a tiny little boat. This guy here is like coming towards this one. This guy is just seeing this. I would like to think it's a whale, but it looks like it has teeth and everything. So yeah, the bird flying by. I was thinking a lot about details. Oh man, I drew this and I felt like the god of anatomy. I felt like I nailed it, bro. I nailed it. All the muscles in place, everything. Of course not, but that's the way I felt back then. Again, some more drawings of that same show. They had this specific style in curving the ball, making it move like it's traveling at insane speeds. It was so fast that it would distort the ball like this, and I was trying to imitate that. Shaman King, bro. I love this show. It's really cool. I liked it a lot, and these are two of the characters from the show. This was from a video game that I had about Ninja Turtles. Here's something that doesn't have to do with anything, any video game, any movie. I would enjoy watching documentaries a lot, especially on wildlife and nature and stuff. So I drew this, which is full of details. If you take a look, this is where the surface is supposed to break. So the camera is cut in half here, the lens, right? Then on the surface, you see this dolphin coming out of the water, the tiny little guy enjoying the views from the top of this ship. Again, I had a thing for wolves, and especially wolves standing on a rock. Oh, this was a tornado. You can see the trail it left. Fortunately, it only broke this side of the bridge. Anyway, I didn't think too much about these things, just, tornado, heading towards the city, let's do it. More of that show. Oh, here's an interesting scene. I like this one a lot. I was really proud of this one. So we can see this snake approaching, sneaking in, between the bushes here. This little animal drinking water from the river. There's a little bird here. And yeah, that's as much as storytelling goes here. It was pretty straightforward. Just show an animal drinking water and then show danger somehow. A danger that animal can't sense yet. So I'm noticing the tiny little flowers all around. Fucking awful to do. I hated this. This is high school. This is first year in high school. I'm like 12 years old. I don't like this at all. it was more technical. It was way more technical than everything else. Oh, this is from the video game Shinobi. This is from my first years of capoeira. Those were good times. Really good vibes, good mood. Anywhere you went, they were always like excited, happy, having fun, enjoying. It felt like a family thing. And here we have some more cars. So I still do the thing on the rims, but I'm feeling like the proportions are a little better now. And I even try to represent the logo back there. Here I'm trying to do more pencil drawing stuff. Dude, I swear, I remember these looking way, way better. So this was supposed to be for my dad. When I was a kid, he would play with that circle, which is like a boomerang kind of thing. You throw it away, it comes back. We had that when I was a kid, and we played with it in the park. It was really cool. Then there's a bunch of strawberries and cherries and stuff like that falling off the tree. The same tree produces both fruits, which is so interesting. Green apples, red apples, both on the same tree, but at least this is the same fruit, not like this. And here's a police car. I think they're handcuffed. This is an Easter table ready for all the family to eat with all the food. We had fruit, we have meat, we have eggs, everything. It was everything. Experiments with some type of paint that I was using that I'm not sure, you can almost feel it, how solid this paper is now. You know, it's not very flexible. Some more Pokemon. So yeah, I remember when I painted this. This is where I tried acrylics. Anything I had available, I would use it. Oh, and here's like a nice waterfall. Yeah, I was a little older when I made this. Maybe 14, if not 13, but yeah. So, anyway guys, this has been my art journey so far. I mean, part of it. I'm only showing here like some highlights from what I was able to keep and from what my parents were able to bring back from my childhood, and I just felt like sharing all these things with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments, what was your drawing journey like? Do you keep your drawings? Do you still have some of your oldest drawings when you guys were kids? What were some of your struggles? You know, what's some of your process of growth and the way you guys learned how to paint and create and draw and understood all the complexities of the art world and all that stuff? Like, where did you start? Let me know in the comments below. And until the next episode, I just wish you guys an awesome week. Take care of yourselves, enjoy your time, and stay creative, okay? See you in the next one. Bye-bye.